So everybody can hear us? You guys can type in the chat section if you have any questions come in. Welcome, everyone. We have a couple more minutes before we start the webinar, so if you have a minute to turn your microphone off or your video feed if it is on. This is a recorded event, so please mute your mic. Thank you, Lorena. Welcome. Hi, Chantel. So we're so glad you guys could join. We're going to talk about our construction management program in just a minute. We're going to wait a couple more minutes. It's not quite time to start yet. I want to give everybody a chance to come in, join us. All right, we have a couple more people coming on. Welcome. If you're trying to turn your mic, at the top portion of your little bar, there's an action bar and there's a mute button. It's going to be the first one on the left. If you're trying to turn your mic, that's how you can do that. There's a video stop if you have a video on your computer. That's going to be the one that's right next to it. You can click the down arrow and choose the video settings, and the same thing with the mic. You can choose your mic settings, but the easiest way is to just click the mute button. I hope that helps. All right, 6 o'clock. I see that we have a couple more attendees joining us. Excellent. We're just going to go ahead and get started. We're going to introduce our speakers today. We're so glad you guys joined us, and if you haven't already muted your mic, we totally appreciate you just clicking the mute button at the top of your control panel. My name is Heidi Gershio. This is Sarah. She is our enrollment concierge. I'm the learner concierge here at LSU Online. We have our wonderful guest speakers today who are going to be Kimberly Williams and Becky Labateau. We actually are going to be showing a slide in just a moment. I just want to wait another minute or two to see if we can get some more attendees on before I flip to the next screen. We are excited that we're going to be able to talk about the program in just a few minutes. All right, I see some more people are hopping on. Excellent. Looking good. If you guys haven't had a chance to mute your mic, please do so. You can just click the mute button at the top of the toolbar. All right, guys. And if you have questions that you already know you want to ask, you can put those in the chat section. We're going to be addressing those questions towards the end. But comments, questions are welcomed. we're excited to answer those questions. Dr. Williams is here to help clarify with any of the program questions. And then we have Miss Becky here to talk about GRE waiver requirements and a couple of other requirement pieces. She's her admissions specialist. She's wonderful. All right. I'm going to just give like 1 more minute for us before we go to the next slide. All right. A couple more people joining us. All right, if you haven't had a chance to mute your mic, please do so now. This is recorded live, so we want to make sure that you guys can hear everything in the future. Hi, Amber. Welcome. All right, let's move on. So I want to introduce Dr. Williams and Miss Becky. They are our department folks who are our guest speakers tonight. We're so appreciative of their time. So our guests can introduce themselves. Go for it.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see so many people attending tonight. This is Dr. Kimberly Williams. I'm an instructor and the online coordinator and the advisor for the post-baccalaureate program. And we're excited to speak with all of you about our post-baccalaureate certificate and our Master of Science in Construction Management.
Hi everyone, I am Becky Labatou and I'm the administrative coordinator for the construction management program, and I mainly assist with admissions, so we're happy to have y'all join us for this.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys' time and that you guys took out your evening a little time to answer some questions for these guys. We also would like to speak about our department chair, Charles Berryman. He is the professor. He's our department chair, and he's the chair of Contractors Educators Trust Fund. Our guest speaker is Dr. Kimberly Williams and Ms. Begley. So we are going to move on to the overview. What we're going to talk about today is a little bit about LSU Online and how that works. We're going to talk about the Master of Science in Construction Management requirements. We're going to talk about the course curriculum for that program, as well as for the Construction Management Certificate Program requirements and course curriculum for that as well. We're also going to talk about a second spring special offer at the end. So we hope that you guys make it to the end and have some great questions. We're going to move on right now. LSU Online is a fully online experience. You guys know more and more that we have more traditional students, and we want to make sure that we are meeting you guys' needs so that you can gain the career that you are heading for. That's your goal. You are able to complete your assignments and all work from home and your choice of location with an internet connection. If you guys have other questions about start dates, you can put those in the chat box below. This offers you the ability to plan time off from the program. You can also maintain your work-life balance. You have me, the learner concierge, to walk you through processes and put you in the right person for your inquiry. You also have Sarah here, who is going to take care of all of your enrollment needs from the application process until you're admitted. So we're excited to have her here to answer those admission questions along with Becky. Construction management, the program itself, is ranked #1 in the nation for faculty credentials and training, and that's with the U.S. Online rankings. It's also ranked #4 for student engagement. So you guys, we are the direct result of that student engagement. So you guys applying and getting into the program and engaging are the reason why we're so successful. So we're so glad you could join and listen and see if you can be part of the next step. All right. Dr. Williams is on the Master of Construction Management overview.
So our Master of Science in Construction Management is designed to blend engineering, business, and construction management concepts to produce a professional graduate who can manage construction processes effectively and efficiently. The students will have an in-depth education in state-of-the-art construction specializations, including sustainable construction and materials, hazard management construction, building information modeling, decision-making, and productivity. We're also looking into expanding our offerings within the Master of Science. So in addition to some of the electives that I just mentioned, we also offer an elective class in leadership for those who are interested in the leadership side of things, as well as social networking and several others that we have in the pipeline. The great thing about our Master of Science in Construction Management program is that we are an accredited program through the ACCE. The ACCE is the American Council of Construction Education. And so our program is offered 100% online, but we also offer it to our traditional students as well. And so what you can expect in your online classes is you will have students who are 100% online, but we also integrate our campus-based students, so they get to take part in the online learning environment as well, although they do have some face-to-face interaction that we require for the campus students. But you're going to get this well-rounded network of current students who are either active working, so a good majority of our students are working professionals. Our campus students are more research-based, so they're working on research, or their goal is to continue or earn a PhD after their Master of Science. The awesome thing about our construction management program is that we have this very expansive alumni network. We work very closely with an organization called the CIAC, which is the Construction Industry Advisory Council. And it's made primarily of all of the major construction companies in the state of Louisiana. And we partner with CIAC so that we can develop our curriculum. We partner with them for Construction Interview Day, which are sessions that we host twice a year during our career fairs that are focused specifically on construction management graduates who are seeking employment. And all in all, you know, all of the networking and the scholarly research and the networking that you're doing with your peers, I think that our Master of Science is an amazing program for anybody that's interested in expanding their education.
Thanks, Dr. Williams. Perfect. So our department chair addressed a question that's often asked. Many of our students ask, what kind of career gains will I see with the Master in Construction or even this certificate? And Dr. Berryman addresses that by saying that the industry knows about our program and they come and hire our students. It's no secret that this is to be if you really want to be in the field. So he knows about the need for you guys to have a great successful outcome in order for you to achieve your goals, which are the next steps in your careers. So he addresses that pretty well. And then we have a curriculum question. So this is our curriculum in the Master in Construction. We'll address the certificate later at the end of the master portion. This curriculum is rigorous and prepares you for what the industry needs. Dr. Williams, could you highlight a couple of the curriculums for us, some of the courses that are interesting to you maybe?
Sure. So the Master of Science in Construction Management is a 36-hour graduate level degree, and it's comprised of 3 required courses. So currently, all of our master students are required to take a research methods course, project delivery, which is also similar to project management. I think this is probably one of the courses that students get one of the biggest takeaways from. Okay, the biggest takeaway background, that's okay. Because as construction management, that's what we're doing primarily. We're managing people, we're managing processes, we're managing products, we're managing profits. And so the project delivery or project management class is a class that kind of pulls everything together to help you all get a really well-rounded understanding of what a construction manager does. And the other required course at this time is decision-making tools in construction management, which again, since construction management is the business side of construction, we have, quite a few elective courses that appeal to students based on what their area of specialization is. But the 3 core courses are just courses that we believe, and having partnered with industry to develop the curriculum, we believe that it's going to develop a really well-rounded CM by the time that you are ready to graduate from the program. And so aside from your 3 required courses, there are 9 elective courses that you can choose from. Our course carousel, we currently offer, when we have a required course that's being offered in a given term, there likely will not be an elective course available that particular term, because we want to make sure that all of the students who are actively enrolled are taking the required course. Now, if we offer when we offer elective courses, we're often offering 2 of them at a time. So you have that flexibility of taking either 1 course or doubling up if 2 elective courses are offered. And some of the electives include classes like natural hazard resistant construction. So if you're interested in studying construction as it relates to natural disasters, Dr. Carol Friedland is actually a top researcher at LSU who studies hurricanes. And so you'll learn firsthand from her, not necessarily just about hurricane and things that you can do from a resistance standpoint, but also any other natural disasters that may be occurring in other areas. Construction dispute resolution, we have Professor Don Snyder who teaches that course. He actually is a retired attorney who also was a civil engineer by trade. And so Professor Snyder brings to the construction management program this wealth of hands-on knowledge about what it was like to be, an engineer who had a law degree that worked for construction companies and helped to draft contracts and negotiate contracts and go to court and deal with all the not so fun stuff that construction companies have to deal with.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just looking at this. I'm always interested in the different things that you are able to offer the students. I find them all really interesting to me. So one of our students at our recent graduation ceremony, which we brought people from all over the globe to celebrate their diploma this semester, Dr. Williams can talk to you about this particular student's story. I think we all might have cried a little when we heard his whole testimonial, but this is just a small portion of his story.
Right. So Kwabena Abedi just graduated with our Master of Science in Construction Management. And the quote that you all are seeing now, Kwabena said, taking the courses has enabled me to have a different approach to work. It has given me an edge out there in the industry. What I love about LSU Online is how personal they make the courses. Though you're online, you don't feel like you're online. You still have professors and your graduate coordinators reaching out to you all the time. Kwabena had a very interesting situation in that when he started the master's program, he actually he's originally from Africa, but he was working here locally in the Baton Rouge area. But he started as an online student. And the project required for him to travel back to Africa. And so the great part about that was because he was an online student, he had flexibility of being able to travel while he was pursuing his master's degree. And so we had to stay in close contact with Kwabena over the years. the extra service that we provide is making sure, example, that if we have a student that's international, that we're getting textbook information to those students as quickly as possible. In some cases, you know, it may have taken 2 to 3 weeks for Quibena to get a normal hard copy of a textbook. But if there was an ebook version of the textbook, then he was quickly, you know, able to download that. But it's just being in contact and making sure that we were responsive to the needs of our students, regardless of where they were. So when we heard that Quibena was coming for graduation, and you know, Becky and I were obviously very excited. We go to graduation every single semester. So as a master's student, as an online student, whether you're a master's student or a post-baccalaureate student, you're an LSU student. And so we highly encourage all of our online students to come to Baton Rouge if this is not the area that you live in, and participate in the graduation commencement ceremonies that we have every semester. And so this past commencement, we had a total of, I believe it was 9 of our master students, if I recall.
I think so.
Becky?
Yeah.
And
it
then,
might have been, I think it was supposed to be 10, but one happened.
And so, needless to say, this is the first opportunity that we really get to, quote unquote, see you, if you will. Even as someone who teaches online myself, you know, we'll see the videos that the students do, and I'll see the presentations for some of the courses, or even in my own course for the presentation that they have to do for my leadership class. But there's nothing like actually meeting a student that you've been talking to for the last 2 years, and then to see reach this milestone. It's just an absolutely amazing experience.
Absolutely.
I agree.
All right. So in the famous words of Dr. Williams, I'll speak for you. So, Dr. Williams, I put this in here before I had confirmed that you were going to speak today. So, what you said was that what makes the online construction program unique is that we invest a lot in our programs. We have a team of instructional designers and graduate assistants to assist our faculty members with creating and facilitating their online courses. We also provide amazing student support, which you guys heard in the last testimonial just on the student alone. We want to make sure that our online learners and learners in general are taking offer the concierge service that I think a lot of other universities don't offer. Even though our students aren't on campus with us, we still want them to feel connected. And I feel that's very true. All of our students feel very connected. So want to go to our question and answer portion. I do have a slide for each one of the questions on the admission requirements, the GMP requirements, and on the post-baccalaureate certificate, which includes your bachelor not containing an engineering, architectural, or CN. So we'll talk about cost-related questions really quick. I'll cover that, and then I'll let Dr. Williams and Ms. Labato talk about the different requirements for the program. So the tuition is $814 per credit hour, and it is 36 credit hours and 12 classes. Each class costs $2,242. That is for the master program. The post-bac is going to be on a separate slide a little bit later. Financial aid is available for those who qualify for the certificate and for the master program, depending on your qualifications. Your program length varies from 12 months to 4 months. And there are online proctor fees for exams, so we just like to be really transparent about that cost. Next, we're going to talk about the admission requirements. I will let you take it away, Dr. Williams.
So for our master's program, so we require a bachelor's degree from an accredited U.S. or equivalent university, and not necessarily a construction-related area. So we have different So the preference ideally would be construction management, engineering, or architecture. But if you don't have a degree in one of those three areas, we do have leveling courses that students may be required to take if they don't have a degree in construction management, engineering, or architecture. And the whole purpose is because they're accredited through ACE, we have accreditation standards that we have to maintain. And so students who don't have that construction-related background, and the three core areas for us are in project management, and estimating, and scheduling. If you don't meet those pre-learning outcomes, then we offer our leveling courses, which are available through our post-baccalaureate certificate program. We require for admission that students have at least 3.0 GPA on all of their undergraduate coursework, or at least the 30 hours, so which would be, the last 60 hours of your bachelor's degree. 3 years of management-related construction management professional experience. And so when we say professional experience, we are talking specifically about significant responsibility in your role. And so you may be managing projects, you may be managing people, you may be a scheduler or an estimator or a project engineer or something of that sort. And that would be documented using your professional resume. And then the GRE is required. However, there are waiver options that we'll talk about on the next slide that relate directly to your work experience or completion of the post-baccalaureate certificate.
Perfect. So here are our GRE waiver options.
So option one, if you have a bachelor's degree in engineering, architecture, or CM, along with 3 years of management experience in construction, will waive the GRE. Your resume must be submitted, and your resume must detail your work experience so that the admissions committee can verify that you've reached the 3-year minimum requirement for construction management, managerial level related experience. And then option two is you worked for 5 or more years in the construction management field in a position, and you have a bachelor's degree, a bachelor's degree in an area other than engineering, architecture, or construction management. And so just to clarify, if you have an undergrad degree in engineering, architecture, or construction management, the requirement would be 3 years of experience. If you don't have a undergrad degree in one of those 3 areas, then there's the 5-year managerial work experience requirement.
Perfect. Yes, and then we would like to talk about the certificate in construction management. This is a post-baccalaureate certificate, which requires you already have an undergraduate degree. Would either of you prefer to address this slide?
Sure. So with the post-baccalaureate certificate in construction management, this certificate helps to prepare individuals for the American Institute of Constructors AIC Level 1 exam. And it also serves as the basic leveling courses for our Master of Science program, but also most Master of Science, most construction management or science related graduate programs in the United States. So the post-baccalaureate certificate, ideally if students, it's comprised of 6 core courses, and we have 6 terms in a given year. So students are taking 1 course per term. So you could, in essence, complete the post-baccalaureate program in 12 months. For those students who are wanting to double up on courses or move along, progress a little bit quicker, we offer 2 post-baccalaureate courses per term. So it is possible to complete the post-baccalaureate program within 6 months. However, as an advisor and someone who teaches, I would highly suggest that students start off slow. Many of you are very eager and you're ready to hit the ball running when you first start the program. But keep in mind that it's an accelerated 7-week online program. And so you're going to learn a whole lot of information in a short amount of time. And unless you have, the time to dedicate to your studies, and on average, we're expecting about 10 to 15 hours per week per course. So I kind of liken that to having a part-time job. So you have a part-time job while many of you are working full-time. And that's with you taking one course per module. We do have students who opt to double up on courses. I've had students who've done really well, and I've had students, I can honestly tell you, who after the first week or two into the class, and Becky can attest to this, they're requesting, you know, what can they do to drop the second class because they realize that it may be a little bit more intense than what they expected.
Yeah, that's very helpful advice so that everyone knows what to expect with the courses. It is accelerated, and so that's something that bear in mind time-wise if you have the time to give to it. These are the 6 courses that are the curriculum for the Certificate in Construction Management. They include construction materials, methods, construction estimating, and construction scheduling and cost control. Those are the 3 hours courses that need to be taken one right after the other, so consecutively. The other 3 can be taken in any sequence. Those include structure principles and practices, mechanical and electrical systems, and construction contracting. Did you guys have anything to add as back certificate requirements?
So the only thing that immediately jumps out is that we recommend that students take the first 3 courses in sequence as they're offered. And so you can start the post-baccalaureate certificate program doing any of the modules. So if CM 2100 is not offered in a module that you want to start, you would just take the other course that's available for that, or courses that are available for that particular term. So as an example, with our second, where we're in first spring right now, with our second spring coming up, we'll be offering CM 2100. So this is the perfect time if you're wanting to start the program to start with the first course in the 3-course sequence. And basically, CM 2100 introduces you to construction materials and methods, and then we move you into construction estimating. So in order to effectively estimate a project, you have to have working knowledge of the different construction materials and methods that go into the estimating process. And then after you've completed estimating, we move you into the construction scheduling and cost controls. And again, those 3 classes build upon one another. And so depending on where you fall in the spectrum. So if, let's say you're an estimator and you know how to estimate a project, that's what you do every single day. In cases like that, I am totally comfortable with, you know, advising the student that they don't have to take courses in that particular sequence. But if you're new to the construction industry and you really want to learn as much as possible and retain the information, which is really important, then we recommend that students start off taking those 3 courses in sequence as they're offered.
Great. Thanks for that extra info. All right. So that takes us to our second spring special. So this is only available to students who are starting in the second spring of 2019. That is the March 11th start date. And the deadline for the application is February 11th, 2019. For the certificate folks, it is a little bit later than that. Let's just stick with February 11th in your mind, so you have that nice hard deadline. What will happen in that term is that instead of the $814 that it costs for a master's per credit hour, it is only $50 per credit hour for your first class. So each class is 3 credit hours, which means that you will be paying only $150 for that first class. So that being said, we have Sarah. Any questions about the application process, along with Becky, of course. Miss Becky can help with admissions questions too. She, as she said, in charge of those sorts of things. She makes sure that all the papers get filled out. So if you guys have any questions, I would like to open it up to questions.
So I see that Miguel had a question about a capstone as on the list of requirements.
Yes.
that this is Miguel's question is in reference to the master's program. So to answer your question, Miguel, we don't have a capstone requirement per se. For our online master's program is a professional graduate degree. And so there is not a final capstone project that you have to do in order to graduate. Rather, you're going to be working on projects throughout your whole master's program, and the compilation of all of those projects make up, in essence, the capstone requirement for the online professional master's degree.
Perfect. Thank you. And do we have any other questions? Feel free to ask Dr. Williams here just for this specific reason, so that if you guys have questions about the program that you're not really sure about, that you can ask them here. Do we not see any? Okay. Do you guys see questions? For some reason, I didn't see. Oh, I tried applying, but the link doesn't work. I am actually experiencing same problem. So if you guys are applying for the certificate in construction management, the post-bac certificate, you do have to go into the application directly from lsu.edu. and then hit the apply button and then LSU Online. That's the only way to get to the correct link. Working on that. So I really apologize. You can also just email me and I will shoot you over the link. You should have gotten an email when you expressed interest originally, and also from these text messages or emails that you received on webinar. There will be some contact information there that you can just click and email back to us, and I can shoot you that link, the proper link there. You can, and that's a great question about for the certificate, as long as you qualify for financial aid, you are able to use financial aid even for the undergraduate certificate.
That's correct.
It's for, thank you, Chris, that's a great question. So if you're joining the program, you can do the certificate or the master's, the $50 enrollment, the $50 per credit hour is for anybody enrolling in second spring for the first class. I can go back to that slide if it helps. And I also have contact information here for our enrollment specialist. That's Sarah. Sarah can answer other enrollment questions about the process as well. She's my helpful friend here. We are the hall and say, hey, did you get that applicant? You know, so we'll see all of you guys. Can't get our, oh, okay. Maybe Kimberly or Becky, guys, Dr. Williams, be able to answer. If we can't get our current supervisor to do the letter of recommendation,
so we actually don't need letters of recommendation for our master's program.
Okay, so no letters of recommendation for the master program?
No, we don't. So we've communicated that to the graduate school on several occasions, but for our master's program, students are welcome to submit what they would like, but that has no bearing on whether or not you're going to get accepted into our master's program.
So I know that you guys, when you're filling out the graduate application, it's to put 2 names and 2 email addresses. I've actually done it myself. I'm a little frustrated because, of course, as she's saying, it's specific. It's not specific to the program. So you can do that and just let your those people that you've added into that area that know that they don't have to do that.
Okay. Chantel, you're asking, what is the criteria for the certificate program? For the post-baccalaureate, you just have to have an undergraduate degree from an accredited university.
And you do not have to take the GRE for the certificate program either.
That's correct.
And there was a question about a GPA, if you had a 2.84 GPA. Yes, you should still apply because the committee reviews all applications and they can see if any exceptions can be made with that GPA.
Perfect. I think, did we get everybody's question? Let's see, 2 letters.
Letters of recommendations are also not required for the certificate program.
Okay, perfect, yes. Yeah, with the certificate program, it is only your undergraduate degree transcripts. Your official transcripts have to be turned in before they make a decision.
Another question was, do you need the GRE or the GMAT for the master's program? For our master's program, it would be the GRE. And so we do not accept GMAT scores for our master's program.
There is no, for the, is there a guaranteed acceptance into the master's once the certificate program is completed? There's no guarantee. More highly consideration is given to students that complete the post-baccalaureate certificate, but all of our applications have to be reviewed by the admissions committee, and they make their decision on acceptance.
Right. I saw the next question from Jamie. Does your experience with construction projects while in the military count towards your overall experience? Absolutely. I'm actually a veteran, Jamie, so thank you for your service. We are actually recognized as one of the top online programs for veterans. And so your military work experience your experience while in the military counts as overall work experience.
For Grayson, is a PDF of transcripts okay? That's okay for the review process. You can send unofficial transcripts, but you would need to send official transcripts to the university.
She wouldn't know if I qualify. For any FAFSA or financial aid related questions, we do have an email that I'm going to type in here for you. It's LSU Online FinAid at lsu.edu, and they will actually reach out to you and let you know what you qualify for before you register for classes, even as long as you've filled out your application in time and you've let them know how many hours you anticipate taking. So you have to fill in the student data form that financial aid sends back out to you. And then they'll be able to tell you what you may or may not qualify for.
In one other thing just to add for the transcripts, you can be admitted with unofficial transcripts, but before you complete the first module that you register for, you will have to have the official transcript issue.
Perfect. All right, do you have to take the AIC if you do not plan to complete the master's program? No.
Right. No, so Chantel, the AIC level 1 exam is a national exam. It's actually an exam that our undergraduate students are required to take and pass upon completion in order to earn their bachelor's degree in construction management. So our post-baccalaureate certificate program prepares students to take the exam, but you don't have to take it. However, if you're working in the construction industry, it may be something that you may be interested in pursuing.
Definitely.
We have
the flexible classes. Did you guys want to address that one?
So how flexible are the classes, and are they recordings or live lectures? So our courses are designed for working professionals, and so as an example, in a given week, our online students, if you're a post-baccalaureate student, you should expect to spend about 10 to 15 hours per week on your course. If you are a master's student, you should expect to spend about 15 to 20 hours per week on your course. And that includes you reading all of the required material. So there may be 1 or 2 textbook chapters, depending on what course you're in. You're going to be participating in weekly discussion forums. Your lectures are not live. They're actually pre-recorded lectures that your professors upload into our learning management system, which is called Moodle. And so by offering the courses as asynchronous courses, so courses that are not live, it gives you the flexibility of being able to access your course content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as you have internet connection. And so in terms of flexibility, many of our course assignments are due towards the end of the week, most of them on a Sunday evening. And so we recognize that a lot of our students are working professionals who have, and the majority of your time is spent on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And so a lot of your assignments are going to be due over the weekend to give you that flexibility of being able to complete your coursework. Now, in terms of the structure of our online courses, all of the courses run for 7 weeks. And so, there's a set start date and end date for all of the online modules. We've had situations where students have been impacted by natural disasters and things of that nature, and we work with them on a one-off, based on the situation, but ideally, students complete their courses within the 7-week allotted time frame. Carlton asked how many hours for the master's program. It's a 36-hour program, Carlton. Okay.
I'm trying to answer the ones that are going in between if I can. Perfect.
Okay, so I see Joel said that Joel has a bachelor's of architecture from the University of Houston. Will that help in any way? So absolutely, Joel. It really just depends on what you're interested in. Are you interested in, if you're interested in the master's, and you have an undergraduate degree in architecture, what the master's committee will do is take a look to see if you've met the minimum pre-learning outcomes. And so if you haven't taken project management, construction estimating, things of that nature, then you may not have to do all of the post-baccalaureate leveling classes. Instead, you may have to do only probably 3 of them to meet the requirement, but we'd have to look at that. We'd have to get a copy of your transcript and then let you know, well, Becky's the person who takes care of all of that for us. And so she would be in contact with you to let you know if the master's committee, has a recommendation outside of normal admission.
And I've had a question outside of the webinar. I'm not sure if they're here this evening, so I'll go ahead and ask it on their behalf. If they have taken pass-fail classes that involved a construction management certificate, are those something that can be applicable within the master program to apply for the master program?
In terms of trying to transfer the classes? When
Not
you say
just using them in lieu of the post-bac certificate if their undergraduate degree was not in a construction-related field, but they have the project management, they've other certifications for all of those courses, like the construction, the contracting, the estimating, they've taken all those, but they were pass-fail. They weren't necessarily grade coursework.
I haven't had that situation come up. Can you think of a scenario, Becky?
No, not pass fail. It's just basically if they can prove, like with their transcripts or something, they have the knowledge in those 3 areas, then the committee can waive the leveling courses. So it's just something that our committee would have to take a look at.
Okay, and that makes sense. I had discussed that I wasn't sure about pass fail, so I asked you guys just to see if you knew.
It sounds like it's something that they, would be able to look at waiving the leveling classes for, but again, the committee would have to make that decision.
Absolutely. Awesome. Did anybody have any other questions while we're here? We've got a couple more minutes before we close out. So we want to make sure that we get everybody's questions answered. We so appreciate everyone staying on and getting their questions answered.
Yeah, and these are really great questions that you all are asking as well.
Yeah, they're full spectrum. I've got all the good questions.
We look forward to seeing y'all join the program.
Absolutely.
So Chantel wants to know, when are the classes held, during the day or evening? So the classes are virtual, Chantel. You have access to the course 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it really is based on your schedule and what works best for you. I tend to notice a lot of our students are online in the evening times when they get off of work and over the weekends. All of the content for the courses, you can access it at any time. And so all of your content is preloaded. So when you go into the course, really it's based on what works best for you.
And the assignments are within a time frame. So you have a week to complete something, or 2 or 3 days, right? Isn't it?
Correct.
That works?
So with all of your courses, actually before your course starts, so normally the week before classes go live, we open up the getting started or start here section of the course to allow students access to the course syllabus and the course schedule. And your course schedule details everything that you can expect in the course over the next 7 weeks. So you'll know exactly when quiz 1 is due. And normally your quizzes and your discussion forums align with that particular week. So week 1 discussion is due by Sunday, with Monday being the start of the week and Sunday being the end of the week. And so midterm exams for classes that offer midterms are normally offered during weeks 3 or 4. And then final exams for classes that offer finals are normally done during week 7, which is the last week of class.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to answer all these questions. I think everybody has questioned out. And if you guys have further questions, you can clearly see Sarah has her email up here, and you can also reach out to Courtney. Whichever one is easier to write down faster, we'll get those answers out to you. And I can always reach back out to Dr. Williams and to Miss Becky and ask more questions if you have other ones. I do hope that you guys found this informative, and I really appreciate all of your time tonight. Thank you guys so much.
We hope to see y'all online soon.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go Tigers.
Have a good night.
Woohoo!